The most effective way to get a job is through knowing people and through putting your face in front of someone else. That is always going to be a lot more effective than applying to jobs online, like always. Good morning, YouTube. I hope you guys are doing well. Today is Tuesday, November 10th. And yeah, it's the start of a day. I thought I would vlog. Oh, I have deodorant on my shirt. Fuck. Obviously, it's another chill day working from home, but I thought I would do like a little chit chat with you guys, talking about career and life and honestly just how to get your dream job. I'm really going to be talking about how you can set yourself up for success, whether you're in college or whether you're preparing for college, to make sure that you guys have a good job coming out of college. If you guys are new to my channel, I currently am working for Amazon. I have a marketing job with them, and I had this job waiting for me coming out of college. So I feel like I can kind of speak on my experiences and some of the things I wish I did, I think would have helped me a little bit more. So that being said, if you guys are interested in that at all, make sure you guys stay tuned. It's gonna be a fun one. So yeah, it's 9 a.m. I'm officially starting my day. I'm making myself some breakfast. I'm actually making my second breakfast of the day. Obviously, I just got ready and I'm about to sit down and do some emails, and I'll chat with you guys in a little bit. So I just got a bunch of work done. It is 10 a.m. I just spent the last hour checking emails and making my to-do list for the day. I have a meeting later on with my sales team, so I was just preparing for that meeting, making an agenda. So a lot of you guys have asked how I got this job, how I ended up in the position that I'm in, and I have a whole separate video on how I literally got this job. Getting this job out of college, I think was a mixture of multiple things. I think a lot of it was luck, to be honest, and I think also a lot of it was me just working really hard. This actually was originally an internship for me, so a lot of big tech companies, a lot of how they do the recruiting is through internships, right? So they look for students while they're in college, and then they hire them coming out of college full time. So that's why I always say on my channel, make sure when you're in college that you're looking for internships as early as you feel comfortable. Like, I highly recommend doing internships every single summer, and if you have time and if you can, doing an internship also while you're doing class, like during oh my god, I'm choking, like during like a semester, because the more experience that you can get, the better it looks on your resume, obviously, but also the higher chance you have of having a job lined up for you coming out of college, right? So even if you can't get a big internship with a big company, like if your dream company, if your dream job is working for Adidas, even if you can't get an internship with them, I highly recommend just going with a small startup in your area. So like if you want to work for Adidas, like, you know, working for a retail company, or just starting small and not worrying so much about like, okay, this is my dream company. I highly suggest just getting whatever experience that you can as early as possible, because again, it's really going to help you when it comes by the time that you do graduate. So like for my experience, if you guys don't already know, I didn't have a really big internship before Amazon. I didn't even have like a recognizable company on my resume that they would know about. All my internships before Amazon were for really small startups in Austin. And I also had, you know, my own business on my resume too. So of course they're not going to know what that is. So for me, I just didn't feel like I had the right experience. But again, any experience is really good experience. And then also, you know, put those on your resume, but be able to speak to them. That's really what companies are looking for, whether they're small or big, is for you to show the impact that you made in your past experience. Like, they really want to see results. So when you're doing your internships, I recommend, you know, like writing down or just making sure that you take note of some of the impact that you made at those internships. So like, you know, if you really helped a company boost their sales by this percent, make sure you have those quantifiable numbers on your resume, because again, companies really like when you can give them like actual evidence and numerical evidence of the impact that you made in your past experience. So even if you worked, I literally had on my resume at one point that I worked at JCPenney, because I did that in high school, and that was a huge chunk of my experience, you know, as a teenager. I don't remember what the number was, but I was like, I opened the most amount of credit applications at the store for 3 consecutive months, and it was like this number. So it's like, just even if you scooped ice cream, it doesn't matter, just be able to speak to your experience well on your resume and of course in your interview. And I think that's really going to attract employers and like impress them, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's really my first piece of advice, is to get experience. Like, I know everyone's gonna say it, and a lot of people look for ways to dodge around it, and I've seen even people comment like, oh, I don't have a job, I don't know what to do. Just get a job. Even if you cannot find an internship, get a job scooping ice cream. Like I said, get a job working for a retail, JCPenney, it doesn't matter. You need to get some experience on your resume, or else you cannot expect coming out of college that anyone's gonna wanna hire you. If you're in high school, whatever age you're in, start working as early as you can. You're not going to regret it, even though it feels like you have to work your ass off right now. That's really what it is. Like, when you're young, when you're in high school, when you're in college, honestly, you have to work your ass off, and you're gonna be tired, and you're gonna be over it, and you might have to balance, again, classes, a job, maybe an unpaid internship, which will suck. Obviously, try to look for paid internships, but if you have to do an unpaid internship, it is what it is. So sometimes you might have to balance those things, and it's gonna suck, but I promise you the payoff will be worth it. Don't burn yourself out and like drive yourself crazy, but definitely try to get the experience as early as you can, because it's really, really, really going to make an impact. If you guys have any more questions about like finding internships and just any other advice that I can kind of give to help you guys out as far as experience goes and getting experience, definitely let me know, because I can make a separate video on that. So yeah, that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and get back to work. I'm gonna try to get through some things on my to-do list before I have a meeting in 40 minutes. So I'm gonna get back to work, and I will talk to you guys in just a little bit. You guys, my meeting that I was just like preparing for and all that stuff today, it literally got moved to Thursday. So chilling. I'm not chilling, but I'm kind of happy. So I can kind of relax a little bit today. So one fun fact about me is that I'm literally obsessed with Twilight, like to a point where it's like insane. And every time I finish watching the series, I always have to watch like interviews and bloopers and behind the scenes like footage on YouTube of the cast, because I'm like so obsessed with them. So I literally just spent my lunch break watching Twilight interviews. Anyways, that's not the point of this video. I want to talk to you guys a little bit more about obviously getting your dream job and some other things that I think you guys could do that would help. One thing that definitely helped me was obviously my experience, but another thing that I think is really, really, really important that a lot of people don't talk about enough while you're in college is networking. Especially if you're a business major, networking, like who you know, I think more than your GPA and even sometimes more than your experience, depending on what field you're going into, who you know can be the most important thing and can really determine what your opportunities look like coming out of college. I'll say for me, again, like with this job, and I keep using myself as an example because obviously it's easy, the reason why I got this Amazon internship in the first place was through a networking opportunity that I took when I was a junior in college. If you guys know anything about Austin always has South by Southwest, and obviously South by Southwest is a huge networking event. It's a really good chance for you to literally network with people in almost any industry that you're interested in. I always try to make it a point to go to South by Southwest when I was in college, but I never really knew how to navigate the scene. And so I got lucky enough that there was this program my junior year of college called HBCU at South by Southwest, which basically brought a cohort of Black students to South by Southwest, paid for their passes, and allowed them to sit in with major tech companies to basically get recruiting opportunities. It was amazing. I really, really loved the experience, and I was really, really appreciative of it. The reason I got the opportunity was because I had friends who I had become friends with through different orgs on my campus who kind of showed me and like led me to the opportunity. And it's actually funny because the girl who told me about it, she told me about it once and I wasn't planning to apply, and she kept pushing me. She's like, you need to do it, you need to do it, you need to do it. And I eventually did it, and I'm so glad that I did, because if I didn't do it, I wouldn't have this job right now, right? So basically all I'm saying is like the people you know in college, when you're in orgs and when you're meeting people, it's really important that you share with them what your goals are, and it's important that you share with even like your classmates or your peers, or again, the people in your organizations. Like, it's important to share with them like what you want to do. Like, obviously it's important to like make friends and stuff like that in college, but make sure that you're also making friendships that are deep and meaningful, and where you guys are also talking about your passions and what it is that you want to do, and not just friends that you party with. Because I can tell you guys, I have tons of friends that are like my close friends, but I don't talk to them as much about like business and my ideas and like even just like my career. I don't talk to them about that stuff. I definitely leaned more on people in my organizations and my classes and things like that to talk about those. So I had definitely different kinds of friends in college. So all I'm saying is like make sure that you have a group of friends or you have people who are your peers that you talk to about your goals, like what you want to do, what your dream job is, again, because they can really point you to your next big opportunity, right? So if there's a big event coming up or a big networking opportunity or whatever, a big recruiting event, and just make sure that you're seeking those opportunities and that you're seeking people who are like-minded and who are also seeking those opportunities. Because I can tell you that if my friends weren't going to this event and if my friends didn't push me to go to this event, I wouldn't have gone. A lot of people apply to jobs online and through different like portals and job seeker finder things and stuff like that. But I can definitely tell you guys the most effective way to get a job is through knowing people and through putting your face in front of someone else. So going to these events, talking to recruiters, or even if they're not recruiters, talking to people who are working at the companies that you're interested in. That is always going to be a lot more effective than applying to jobs online, like always. And I also just recommend, even if you can't go to in-person networking events and get in front of them face to face, at least try to make those connections online. So find people on LinkedIn. There's so many like apps and websites and stuff where you can make connections with people nowadays, because again, it's just really gonna be a lot more impactful. If you guys want me to make a separate video on networking, definitely let me know, because again, I can talk about that for a long time and give you guys some really good tips. I'm finishing up my lunch break right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and get back to work, and I'll chat with you guys a little bit later and give you guys some more tips on getting your dream job. Wrapping up my day, well, not really, but I'm wrapping up a lot of the things that I need to do on my to-do list, so I'm feeling really good. Again, like when I'm thinking about getting your dream job and like all the things that are required, like really it does come down to who you know and what your experience looks like. I know a lot of other things are really important, like your resume, like interviewing. Like your resume is really just putting all of your experience onto a piece of paper, and you definitely do need to do that effectively. So, you know, I have a whole video on my resume tips if you guys want to go watch that there. But I definitely suggest at the end of the day, like if you don't have good experience, people really don't care how tidy and clean your resume is. You can't fake experience on a resume unless you want to, but you know, just really prioritize getting that experience in, getting some internships, doing some orgs, starting a business, or whatever it is that you want to do while you're in college. Prioritize that now, so that when you make your resume will basically speak for itself, and then when you get to an interview, you have things to speak for, right? So again, I have a video on resume tips. I also have a video on interviewing tips, so definitely go check that out if you guys want to go see that. I will say though, you guys, don't put too much pressure on yourself to have a job lined up for you coming out of college. I know, especially like for me and for a lot of my friends, like when you get to your senior year, there's such a weight on your shoulders, feeling like you need to have something ready for you, feeling like you need to have a good job, just having something waiting for you once you graduate. And just realize that pressure is so it does not need to be there. And like really at the end of the day, even if you don't have something lined up for you coming out of college, you're still going to be successful. A lot of people go into careers coming out of college and then they end up changing their career like 5 or 6 times, right? So like a lot of people don't end up actually finding their dream job until years after college. So just realize that like you don't have to put too much pressure on yourself. You guys know I'm not in my dream job by any means. And so sometimes it's really just about finding what you can and taking whatever opportunity comes to you, even if it's not your dream opportunity, and realizing that you can turn that into your dream opportunity a few years later down the line. Like I really encourage you guys not to put yourselves on a strict timeline. It's not that serious and there really is no rush. So just realize that every step you're taking now is getting you closer and closer to your goal. And as long as you're working hard while you're in college to do what you can to get towards your goals, then you are killing it, right? So I don't know, hopefully that makes sense. If you guys have any more questions specifically about career or finding a job or whatever, picking your major or anything like that, definitely let me know in the comments down below, because I'm happy to make another video for you guys. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.